As Ukrainian cities get shelled, Russia gets bombarded by protests from within its own borders. A major humanitarian effort overseas.
If you look behind me right now, you can see all the people just coming in, right? It just doesn't stop flowing.
Getting launched from South Florida. And FIU baseball getting set to host.
We're going to see more wins this year.
A cross-town grudge match. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Anya Joseph.
And I'm Zitlali Salache. Today's Tuesday, March 8th, 2022.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Protesting Putin. Demonstrators across the globe standing up against the Russian president's decision to invade Ukraine, even some from within his own borders. The Russian military is increasing bombardments on major Ukrainian cities this morning.
Ukrainians finding themselves in survival mode as they try to make out of disastrous situations. The area around Ukraine's capital beginning to look like a ghost town.
The world is haunted by these images of homes, hospitals, schools, orphanages being destroyed, demolished in front of our eyes. Child cancer patients unable to receive chemotherapy, babies delivered in basements instead of maternity wards, and hundreds of thousands of civilians without access to electricity, for heat, or drinking water to stay alive.
Despite persistent attacks by Russian forces, the Pentagon says they believe Russia hasn't made the progress it thought it would in taking over Ukraine.
For those who are fleeing the fighting, some South Florida support is already on the ground near the Ukraine-Poland border. The network's Gustavo Ortega reports from Doral.
For many people in the U.S., the invasion of Ukraine seems like a far foreign issue. But here in Doral, Florida, a group of locals is taking matters into their own hands. For these Ukrainian refugees, these Global Empowerment Mission workers are the first friendly faces they see once they arrive in Poland, after days of walking to flee their country.
If you look behind me right now, you can see all the people just coming in, right? It just doesn't stop flowing. It's nighttime here. It'll keep it like this all night long.
Michael Capone is the founder of Global Empowerment Mission, or GEM, a Miami-based initiative that is providing aid to the Ukrainian refugees fleeing to Poland. On site, GEM provides these refugees with tea, snacks, medical supplies, and other essentials.
Lots of hygiene kits, probably 20,000 sleeping bags. We filled a truck yesterday with undergarments for people because it's freezing, all kinds of warm things.
Michael says that GEM is processing about 1,000 Ukrainian families daily, trying to relocate them to safe places and reunite them with their families. Such is the case of Christina, who GEM helped relocate to Spain, where her husband's relatives live.
Now my daughter isn't safe as me and whole my family.
GEM is hoping to relocate as many as 10,000 Ukrainian families, but this number is only expected to rise in the following weeks. If anybody is interested in helping, you can go over to globalempowermentmission.org. This is Gustavo Ortega for the South Florida Media Network.
Officials this morning are processing migrants from a boat that ran aground in shallow water in Key Largo. The boat ran aground Sunday near the Ocean Reef Resort. The U.S. Coast Guard and the Miami-Dade Fire Department responded to the scene. Officials say they performed rescues that were around 300 Haitian migrants.
A refreshing bike ride turned tragic for a Florida couple that was found dead in a residential area. A husband and a wife were found on the side of the road, brutally stabbed with their throats slashed after going on a bike ride. Daytona Beach Police Chief calls it one of the most vicious and gruesome incidents he's ever seen. Officers are still searching for the suspect and conducting an investigation.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service plans to remove panthers from Immokalee after livestock attacks. This comes after a panther attacked calves at a nearby ranch. Last week, the Conservancy of Southwest Florida, along with other agencies, submitted a letter regarding concerns about the already endangered species and this act being unlawful. Ranchers have requested a meeting with the FWC about their concerns.
Florida goes against CDC to prevent healthy children from getting COVID vaccines. At an event hosted by Governor Ron DeSantis on Monday, Florida Surgeon Joseph Ladapo said that parents should have not vaccinated their healthy children against COVID. DeSantis has always been critical against mask regulations and shutdowns. The safety of the vaccine concerned several doctors and scientists during the event.
The Heat and the Cats both going for wins on the same night.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
We're going to see more wins this year.
Baseball bragging rights are on the line as FIU Panthers play host to the Hurricanes. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
If a natural disaster shows up at your doorstep, you can't just turn it away. That's why it's important to prepare for emergencies before they show up. Go to ready.gov/plan to find the tools and tips you need. And make a plan today.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
A crosstown clash as the Hurricanes head to FIU Baseball Stadium later today to take on the Panthers. It's always a big deal when the four-time national champions come to visit.
But as the network's Richard Gibson reports, the Panthers feel they're prepared for the challenge.
The 50th season for FIU baseball is soon approaching. Following the uncharacteristically mediocre season in 2021, head coach Mervo Melendez for the FIU baseball team is looking to right the wrongs of seasons past. Currently this season, the Panthers have a 7-6 record. However, they've lost 5 straight games as part of an 11-game homestand. Their matchup tonight is none other than the University of Miami Hurricanes, with the game beginning at 7 o'clock can be seen on Conference USA TV. The Miami Hurricanes began the season nationally ranked and currently have an 8-3 record, but have lost 2 straight games against the Florida Gators. Both FIU and Miami are under similar circumstances, in the midst of losing streaks and looking to right their wrongs while the season is still young, before conference play begins down the road. Jonathan Mayer is covering the baseball team for Panther Now and shares his thought on the state of the program.
Players love to play for Merv, but gotta win, and I think this year he made sure to improve his coaching staff, made sure to improve his roster. He did that.
FIU has struggled historically against the University of Miami in baseball, dating back to their first ever matchup in 2007. This includes 4 straight losses against the Hurricanes dating back to 2019, including last year when they lost 21-1 at home. This by itself can prove to be enough motivation for the Panthers to bring it their all tonight against the Hurricanes.
I think we're going to see more wins this year.
Coach Melendez urges fans to show up to as many home games as possible in the month to support the team. This is Richard Gibson from the South Florida Media Network.
Both the Panthers and the Heat can celebrate a 3rd win to their winning streak as they are first in their divisions. The Florida Panthers matched up against the Buffalo Sabres last night, and it was an away game for the Cats with a final score of 6-1. The Miami Heat played against the Houston Rockets in Miami at the FTX Arena with a long-awaited return from Victor Oladipo, and it was a nice win for the Heat with a final score of 123-106.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache.
I'm Anya Joseph. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.